In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I greet you in the language of peace, of Assalamu Alaikum. Somebody asked me a while ago how to stop stuttering. And the reason why they asked me that is because I used to stutter bad. I used to stutter so bad that I was ashamed to talk, because children, they are ruthless when it comes down to your feelings. When they're children, they gonna tease you. And I didn't like being teased even young, because don't nobody like to be embarrassed. And when you stutter, people gonna laugh at you. So I was real quiet, because it was certain words that I got hung up on that caused me to stutter. Like when I used to answer the phone, I used to say, I couldn't get it out. I couldn't say hello. It was certain words that were triggered. Now, whoever got this problem with stuttering, do not accept that you have a speech impediment. Do not accept that it's something wrong with you. Don't accept none of that, because I'm gonna teach you and show you in this video how easy it is to overcome stuttering. And how, you say, how can I teach you? Because I used to stutter. And sometimes I still stumble over my words, but it ain't nothing like it used to be. And my family know this. Now, I'm gonna share with you how I overcame stuttering. We all make mistakes in life, and the mistakes I made led me to prison. And in prison, I met a brother named Brother Khabir Muhammad, and I love this brother dearly. This is my brother. And he was a real sharp brother. You know, he was raised with his mother and father, and you can see the balance, you know what I'm saying, of him being raised with his mother and father. He was real disciplined and real organized. And he was the type of brother that hustled because that's what everybody else was doing. But he was really smart as hell in school. So when I went to prison, I was blessed to have the opportunity to be in the same facility where he was. And we used to go out to the rec yard, and I used to always see the nation in this one cage. Well, to rewind it back, I used to always see them in the last institution where we was. And they used to have this class called Study Guide. And I said, I want to go. And I went in there and looked in there and peeked in there, and they was reading out loud. I had a problem with reading out loud and stuttering. So that was a no-go. I'm not going in there, because I was under the impression that they would laugh at you because you couldn't read. So that canceled that. I never went. And I used to always watch them brothers, and I was like, damn, these are some disciplined brothers right here. And I just knew that they was doing exactly what they were supposed to do. They was just some disciplined, good brothers. Well, I was blessed to be transferred to another institution And just so happened, that same brother Khabir Muhammad, we went to the same institution. And they used to always, the Nation brothers used to always go on the yard. And we used to go in the cage, we used to play basketball and do push-ups. Well, over a period of time, when you're doing just physical activities, you kind of get burnt out on that because the mind gonna take you to places where the physical just can't take you. So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like I used to get burnt out on this, man. So I used to always watch them brothers go into the cage. But I still had that fear of being laughed at for not being able to read, because in the Nation, you got a study guide where everybody takes a paragraph or 2 paragraphs and everybody read out loud. And it's a benefit for this now. It's a benefit for it. Now, one day, they went out to the yard and they came back and said, "You want to go to the yard?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I went to the yard. And some said, "Go in that cage." I said, "Man, put me in that cage. You sure you want to go in there?" I said, "Man, put me in that cage, man." And I went in there and the brothers greeted me with love. You know, they greeted me with love. And it was some real studious brothers that was in that cage. All of them were studious. I was the only one that didn't have knowledge. So we started off in study guide 1. We started off reading Self-Improvement, the Basis for Community Development. And in that book, I knew when I heard the knowledge that Minister Farrakhan was teaching, I knew and felt that he was chosen by God. I knew that in lack of me not knowing nothing, I knew that he was special. It was something about this man right here. So when I went back to my cell, I was excited. And I went back out there, and this day they called on me to read. I got cotton mouth, and I stumbled over my words. And I looked up at the brothers when I stumbled my words, and they was on me. It wasn't no snickering. It wasn't no laughing. It wasn't no making mockery. It wasn't none of that what I thought that would happen. So I'm like, man, so I grew fond quick for these brothers right here. I'm like, man, this is a brotherhood right here. And when I read the message to the black man, they say that if we not educated or our brother need help in reading or anything like that, we help them. And that's exactly what they did. So they knew I had a stuttering problem. They knew I had a reading problem. This brother Khabir, and this is how you overcome stuttering. I'm about to give it to you straight direct. This ain't from a psychiatrist, this ain't from a doctor. This is from your brother who had a very severe stuttering problem. Now, before I tell you this, I'm gonna tell you this. A rapper can stutter horribly. Every time he talk, he stutter. But when he write his rap, and he rap, I promise you, he won't stutter over that rap. You know why? Because that rap is organized. And he know exactly what he's talking about. Period. He will not stutter in his rap, but he is stuttering a conversation because that rap is organized. Now, them brothers, and that's one Jewel too, them brothers was on me when it came down to learning. And Brother Khabir used to give me 10 words a day. And we read every day. He gave me 10 words a day. I had to have the spelling. And I took a test every Friday. I had to know the spelling, know whether it was a noun, verb, or adjective. I had to know the meaning, and I had to put the word in a sentence. Every single Friday, that brother gave me a test. Every time I got that test, he had some new words for me. And I miss them brothers, man. I miss them brothers, man. I miss them brothers. Because them was brothers. And when I start spelling the word, Minister Farrakhan said that words condition the mind. And that's a true statement, because them words was conditioning my mind. I didn't have no data in there. I didn't have nothing in there. So I didn't know what to talk about. So I stuttered because things would go blank. Once I start retaining words, understanding the meaning of it, now I can hold a conversation. Now I can write letters. Now I can write with substance. Now I can write with meaning. Now I can write with clarity. That meant something to me. Now, when I got tests, this was for 18 months straight. I got tests every single Friday. And I didn't even realize that I stopped stuttering. I can't even tell you when I stopped. When I started reading, learning words, putting words in, learning the meaning of the word, putting that word in a sentence, and I did this on a consistent base, that transformed my mind now on a level where stuttering wasn't even an option. Because now my thoughts, I have knowledge and data in here, and my thoughts are organized. So when your thoughts is organized, you're not gonna stutter, because you know exactly what you're speaking about. And the only time that you might resort back to stuttering, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're not knowledgeable in that area. You might stumble a couple of times. But the stuttering has been destroyed. And all it took was learning words, learning the meaning, put that word in a sentence. This is investing in you and your mind, putting that word in a sentence, organizing your thoughts. Organizing your thoughts. Because when you start putting words in a sentence, you start putting more words in a sentence, your mind gonna do something strange. When you go to sleep, your mind steady working on all that inventory that you done put in your mind. So you're gonna start coming up with creative ways how to use the word. You're gonna start coming up like with words that, where did that come from? Because you putting data in your mind, and now you use your creativity, so your mind is working on a whole different vibration now. So now your mind is giving you words that you like, damn, I put that in a nice sentence. I put that in a nice way. And we used to have to get up and speak. You know, we be called on to speak. And speaking and reading out loud does something valuable. It gives you confidence to read out loud. It gives you confidence to speak. And when you speak in a forum or in public, it gives you the confidence to do that. I wasn't always speaking like this. Absolutely not. I had not a minor stutter or not a little stutter. I had a severe stutter. And some people that was around me say, I never heard you stutter like that. Because you never heard me say that. Because I was quiet as hell. You never heard me say nothing. So, how to overcome stuttering is to read. Whatever word that you run into when you read, write it down. Go to the dictionary and get the meaning of it. And get the spelling of it. Read everything that's valuable to your history or whatever career you're taking up. But what's important to you, read it. And I think that you should start off reading your history because it's going to give you a desire to read. Even if you read slow, it don't make a difference. Just read. And you'll find yourself getting faster, faster, and faster. Speaking faster, faster, and faster. And next thing you know, that you're not going to even know that you're not stuttering no more. That's how quick it stops. When you invest in your mind and invest in yourself, when you invest in that, it invests back in you. Your mind represents what you know. How to stop stuttering. Easy. Read. Look up words. Get the meaning. Put that word in a sentence. Give yourself 10 words a week. And do this every single week. Get you 10 words. Understand the meaning. Whether it's an adjective, pronoun, or a verb. Know that. Know how to properly put it into a sentence. And keep doing that. And just keep doing it. Don't get tired. Just keep doing it. And I promise you, you will overcome no stutter. You don't need no speech coach. You don't need no therapy. You don't have no speech impediment. You just don't have a lot of data up here. And you have people that has a lot of data up here but still have a stuttering problem. Organize your thoughts. For the ones that do have something up here but still have a speech impediment, they don't speak out loud. They probably shy. They probably don't like to speak out loud, because when you start speaking out loud, it gives you a certain type of confidence. But when you start organizing your thoughts, it's kind of hard to stutter. And you know what you're talking about. And when you know what you're talking about, like when you speak, know your topic. Be well averse on your topic. Know what you're talking about. Know it. Read it. Study it. Internalize it. Then speak about it. When you did all your investigation, you know what you're talking about, talk about it. And you're going to be shocked, because you're going to shock the world. But who you're going to mainly shock is your family. Because your family once knew you as Little Stutter. Or they can't wait to hear you speak because they want to hear you stutter. This is brother, I love him to death. I grew up with, I'm not going to mention his name, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not condemning him, you know what I'm saying, at all whatsoever. But when I came home, and he was a brother that used to send me money too. He was a real good brother. I love him to death. He's my family, you know what I'm saying. But I talked to him on the phone one time, and I think he was in the car with his wife. So I just stuttered just then, you know what I'm saying. But he was in the car with his wife, so he had me on loudspeaker. So he was like, "What you say, man?" Yeah, they just call me man. what you say? You know what I'm saying? So I had said something, but he wanted me to repeat it again. But when I started speaking, it wasn't no more stuttering. So those laughs wasn't laughs no more. It was, wow, damn. So when I started teaching what I knew, it shocked him. Because he was looking to laugh at me stuttering, because that's what he remembered, me stuttering. But in the nation, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad made all things new. He takes the stutter. If it was not for Minister Farrakhan, I'd still be stuttering. I wouldn't have nothing up here but street stuff, street activity. Invest in your mind, and I promise you will win. Stuttering is easy to overcome, and you cannot tell me that you can't overcome it, because I overcame it. And like I said, I didn't have a minor stutter. I didn't have a, oh, that ain't too bad stutter. I had a severe stuttering problem. Invest in your mind. And look at this video again if you have to. I laid everything how to stop stuttering. And I guarantee you, if you apply it, you will definitely stop stuttering. May God continue on your journey. And if you got that issue, face it and overcome it with knowledge and words. Peace.